Hi everyone, it's Nat from Oasis Hub. I thought I'd just put a little clip together for you this morning for those of you who struggle with a little bit of lower back stiffness or lower back pain. So the idea behind this was that quite often I'll get a phone call in the morning from a client who's in dire straits with really bad back pain, and the day's full and there's just nowhere for me to put them in and manage them to be able to do a little bit of body work with them. But this is a series of stretches that I find really helps the sore back. So unless you've got bulging discs or you've got red flags like numbness around the sacrum area or radiating down the legs or really severe pain, obviously you go and get further investigations. But if you know that from time to time, because of work or posture, that your back does play up and you're wanting a series of stretches that might help that, hopefully this will help you. So we're going to start off lying down on our back here. And I like to have the lower back supported, so the feet are on the floor. We've got feet in line with the hips and the knees. And we're starting in a position that I like to call neutral spine. Neutral spine means we've got this gentle curve of the lower back. So we're not imprinting or flattening our lower back in this position. So just starting off with that gentle natural curve under the back. I'm just going to put my hands here so you can see what's happening with my back. And we're just going to start by inhaling and allowing the tailbone to drop gently towards the floor. It's not a really exaggerated move, so I don't want a terrible big back arch going on like this, but just a gentle lift of the tummy, lower of the tailbone. And as you exhale, we're gently connecting the core to gently pull the tummy down towards the spine. The tailbone is gently lifting here, and now we're flattening our lower back onto the floor. So this is what we call pelvic clocks. It's like we're rocking from 6 to 12 on the clock. So we inhale and just gently allow the tailbone to send down to the floor. Exhale, drawing the belly down towards the spine, allowing the lower tummy to gently engage. You might feel a little bit of stretching along the lower back. And you just do this within your comfort range, making sure it's not exacerbating any pain. And if you do have exacerbation of any pain in these stretches, I just want you to stop. So inhale, send the tailbone down, exhale, flattening the lower back and lifting that tailbone. And then we're coming back into neutral spine. And this time, as we exhale, we're going to roll the tailbone up, followed by the sacrum, lower back, all the way up to the upper back, coming up into a position we call bridge. We've got knees in line with hips and shoulders. It's not our more exaggerated yoga type position of pelvis right up to the ceiling. We've got one long line. The idea is to engage the back of the body here, the glutes and the hamstrings, and create length. And we're coming out of the hip flexors, so we're allowing the glutes to engage. So take a breath in at the top. Exhale to roll the spine down and try and articulate one little bone in the vertebrae, one little bone of the spine at a time as you roll back to the floor. Inhale, gently send the tailbone down towards the floor. Exhale, lifting the tailbone up, gently engaging the lower abdominals and slowly rolling all the way up. So we're just allowing the spine to know that it's safe to move. Take a breath in at the top, exhale to roll down. So I will probably do 6 or 8 of these just gently. If your back grabs when you start to lift, let's leave the bottom down for that one won't be for you. Let's take the right ankle over the top of the left knee. We're going to take the left thigh in our hands. So you might need to reach your head up to grab hold of that. And what I want you to feel is a stretch through the right glute. Often when our lower back is sore, there's often some tendency of the glute to have been seized up, and that may have been contributing to the lower back. So we're just gently drawing that thigh back towards the chest. Thinking about relaxing your neck and shoulders. I don't want you to be gripping and creating tension through your neck here, just feeling that beautiful stretch. And remembering to take nice deep breaths here. Imagining that nice deep breaths really help the nervous system calm down. And we'll hold each of these stretches for around 30 seconds in real life. But what I'm going to do is now drop my foot down to the floor. I'm opening my arms wide, palms facing up. And I'm going to allow my knee to go across my body. So my spine is going to gently twist, my lower spine's gently twisting until my foot hits the floor. Now your back might only allow you to come halfway, and that's absolutely fine. And lower the foot to the floor, and we're taking our head and turning towards our open palm on the opposite side. So we're getting a really nice spine twist, you're getting a bit of a stretch through the outside of your thigh, wrapping around to the glute and lower back. Once again, holding that stretch for around 30 seconds. And then we engage the abdominals, we're bringing the leg back up. Let's switch over to the other leg. So left ankle over right knee, wrapping that hand behind in a little pretzel stretch to stretch the glutes and really feeling that stretch through the back of the glutes, holding for 30 seconds. Taking nice, slow, deep breaths, enjoying that stretch, just knowing that that's going to be having an on-flow effect onto your back. After 30 seconds, we're going to lower the foot to the floor, open the arms wide, palms facing up, and let's take that knee back across the body. You can take it until your foot touches the floor if you've got that sort of scope. If your back says no thank you, just go part way and just feeling the stretch up the side and maybe into the lower back. But if you can drop your foot down, we can then rotate to face towards the opposite open palm. Engaging the abdominals, we're going to bring those knees back up to the top and we can unwrap the knees. Let's just roll our way over now, over onto our tummy. It's always important, especially when hip flexors are involved in our lower back pain, to come into some extension poses because nearly everything we do is forward leaning or flex position. So let's take the palms about mat width. Forearm is fully connected, so from fingers to elbows fully connected. And we're just going to rest our head down on the mat here, forehead connected. And as you exhale, we keep the forearms connected as we exhale and lift the chest bone up from the floor. The back of the neck's long, so see how I didn't tilt my head to look forward. I really want the scruff of my neck to be pulling up towards the ceiling. I'm gently drawing my shoulder blades down my back. So I want to feel some nice strengthening through my upper back. I don't want you to come up so high that you feel it's grabbing in the lower back. So if your back is really sore, your position may well be 2 inches above the mat. And that is perfectly fine, if that's as far as you can go happily. Take your time building up to anything more. But for the purposes of today, I know that most of you will be able to come up to this full position of our Sphinx pose. And we're going to hold that position again and then inhale to take the body down to the floor. Exhale to press into the floor, draw the shoulder blades down, lifting the chest bone up from the floor. And inhale to lower. And I will do 6 or 8 of these ones. These beautiful Sphinx are so good for getting out of the hip flexors and strengthening the upper back. This time, if you're up to it, if your back feels okay by now and you have that range of movement, you can then start to lift your elbows and just come up a little bit higher. Same deal, we're going to draw the shoulder blades down. We're lifting the belly up away from the floor. So we're not just allowing it to sag and back bend arching here. So exhale to lift again. We can hold that position if that feels really good for you. Once again, back grade it to elbows or back grade it halfway down if you need. And then finishing off, we're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes under. We're going to send it back into child's pose, so knees wider, and you're going to drop your bottom back onto your hips, reaching the arms forward and resting the forehead on the floor, feeling the beautiful stretch you've got going through the lower back here. We can come up out of this lift and take both hands over onto the left-hand side, right hand on top. And as you drop down into your child's pose, you're going to get a beautiful stretch through the right side of your lower back. coming up through the centre. Let's walk both hands onto the right side with left hand on top, and we drop down. Once again, we keep all of these stretches for about 30 seconds. Let's bring both hands into the centre now. We're going to rock forward onto our hands and knees to finish up with a cat curl. So this time we've got our feet flat on the floor. We're going to exhale, tuck the tailbone under, scoop the belly up towards the spine. So we really want to get some nice roundness through the back. We're looking down towards our knees here. And then inhale, gently lift the tailbone. Core is gently engaged. We're going to lower the belly, we're going to lift the chest, and we're looking forward. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, bring the sits bones together. Scoop the belly up, round the back, and looking backwards towards your thighs. And inhale, gently lift the tailbone, lower the belly, lift the chest. Opening up through the chest. Think about separating your sits bones. We're really trying to do a lot of work through relaxing the pelvis here. We will do 3 or 4 of these beautiful cat curls to stretch out the lower back. Remembering opening and closing the sits bones as you go, so we're getting a beautiful stretch and relaxation, and then a contraction and a lift from the pelvic floor up through the lower abdominals. And that should feel beautiful on the back. And if you like to finish, we're going to just look over the left shoulder towards the left hip. Not that we're going to necessarily see it, but I want you to feel that stretch through the right side of your lower waist to hip area. Once again, holding for 30 seconds or so. We'll take it through the other side, looking over your right shoulder now towards the right hip. Back into the centre, and we are done. I hope that helps your stiff back. Just leave me a comment. Look forward to hearing how you went.